You'll never forget this face, will you? All right? Earl Shrub, all right? Penny card. And the thing here is that he just changed the inside. It used to be 39 back in the 40s. Then it was 49, 59. Then it went up to 99. But Earl Shrub never changed his picture. That's him at 39 years old. He died last year at 82, all right? And that's what you want to do, is create an identity for the ad. And it's a great-looking ad, worked great, made him a billionaire. Grand opening, you would think this was maybe for kids' clothes or something like that, something to do with children. If you look real closely, you see that it says single price store, women's clothing. Terrible ad, wrong market. Cutesy, but you're not hitting your market, and so therefore not very effective. Quality cleaning, this was a trolley ad for trolley cleaners, and they created an image and a coupon, and it was a whole campaign for that particular advertiser. He started putting in his business on the conveyor belt little trolley cars, started handing out tokens, changed the image of his business to a San Francisco flavor trolley car. The salesperson did that. And I stress this to the salespeople in the room, that's what we have to do. We're not ad takers, we're advertising marketing consultants. And this was a great ad that advertising newspaper salesperson did. And it was a great campaign out there. Interesting ad, it's time to take care of your crack problem, all right? This either gets great response in communities or they hate it. Be careful with humor. This ad ran for a while and they pulled it. They found an awful lot of negativism coming from this particular ad. The same reason that happened with Burger King when they came out with their advertising slogan, sometimes you've got to break the rules. PTA meetings and PTA committees and people sent in letters to Burger King saying, don't do this. Don't tell kids they can break the rules. We're sitting here saying, obey the rules. And now you're telling them to break the rules. Sometimes you can break the rules. A terrible negative campaign. They dropped it. They should have had more sense than that. I can't believe that they would say, yeah, we'll get away with this. I mean, to me, sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. But okay. Now they stare at me because of my great complexion. What should this ad have? A picture of something. Yes. All right. Showing a beautiful picture there of a lady, and that's what that ad means. Too much copy. This ad's hard to see. It says letterpress and Mason must move the tide. It's a leather ad. Now you can see the lady laying on the couch. All right. Picture that ad without that lady laying on the couch. Is it the same ad? Not at all. You picture yourself, boy, that's me after a hard day. I'd love to have that. I'd love to be doing that. And that's what you have to do when I say create an identity for your ad. Make sure that people can identify doing that product or enjoying that product, whatever it might be. Grand opening for Beers Jewelry. Here's a case that's too much coffee, too flowery. Watch your flowery borders. Bad name for a company. Beers Jewelry, would you trust them? I took this ad, as a matter of fact. He gave it to me. I didn't like it, and I tried to talk him out of it. He says, no, this is what I want to run. It was in Gilbert, Arizona, and he ran the ad, and his name was Jim Fears. With a name like that, change it, all right? There's just no way you can deal with that. Alcohol can break the spirit to people who never touch it. Very emotional, appealing ad. And you see a tear running down the eye of the girl if you look real closely. Get you involved in the ad, and that's a very powerful way. Best steakhouse in Denver, and then underneath it, it says Westward. If you can quote somebody, if you can put your heading in quotes, like best furniture store in Mississippi, and put that in quotes, people believe it much more than if you just put it up there. And maybe one of your customers said where you can quote it. But quotes and headings like that work much more powerful. Yard sale, cute ad, all right? Just a nice heading, yard sale, and this ad did very well for the advertiser. Okay. 4 for the 4 that looks like a appliance store ad. This is actually for a home builder, all right? And he was giving away free appliances for if you bought the home. But if you look at the ad, you thought it was a ad for a home builder or for appliance stores. So be careful when you do that kind of thing. You have to read the copy. People don't study ads. Remember that. They're looking at the editorial also. They're looking at other ads. They're not going to sit and study that ad. Another example, a Texas original. This is for Westel Communications. They show the Astrodome there. So you think it's probably an ad for the Astrodome or how they did the air conditioning in the Astrodome or something like that. And here it is for Westel Communications. They're saying we're unique just like the Astrodome is unique. And it's not a very good ad because of the fact it doesn't tell you right away what you're advertising. Make sure that you tell that right away. Women's school, same thing. You have no idea what they're selling. read, all you know is an open house for women to come, free bar, so you know it's not for Alcoholics Anonymous, but other than that, you don't know what it's for. Here's an ad that the salesperson at the newspaper, and I stress this again to newspaper salespeople in the room, you take the ad and you redo this ad, watch the next ad. You look at this one, now watch this next. Much better, isn't it? Now you know exactly what that advertiser is advertising. You didn't know from the first one that it was for musical instruments. Now you do. If you think nothing can be done about your baldness, you ought to have your head examined, okay? And great heading, and pardon the pun, but that is a great heading, okay? I'm going to have to read this to you. It says, announces an important revision of the Bible. That was the ad that ran on the left. The ad that ran on the right, most important Bible news in 340 years. That's the ad that ran on the right. They ran a test to see which one would do better. Announcing an important revision of the Bible, all right? That's A. In your mind, think, okay, I'm going to choose A, or you're going to choose B. Most important Bible news in 340 years, okay? Choose A or B. Which one do you think drew best? It was B. B drew about 7 times more response than A because people were interested in saying, well, what's this news? What's this news that they're talking about, okay? The other is just saying announcing, all right? People were much more interested in reading the fine copy on the ad on the right. Here's an example, folks, if we're talking about coffee. It says Woody's Wings and Things, okay? Buy 40 chicken wings and get an extra 10 free at $9.75. This man was running the ad at $9.50 for 50 chicken wings. We went out to him, picked up the copy. I started talking to him about the ad, and I said, how is this ad pulling? Because it was our first time that we were going to be running it in the newspaper. He'd been running it in a little shopper. And he said, I want to start running it in the newspaper. And he says, boy, this ad's really been pulling real well. But let me tell you a story about it. I used to have the price at $9.50, selling 50. I changed the copy to say, buy 40, get 10 free. I raised the price a quarter, and I'm selling 20% more. Why? Because people want something free. And it's perceived as the reality. Here was an example of, I'm going to give you less, I'm going to charge you more. I'm going to give you the same, I should say. I'm going to give you the same, I'm going to charge you more, but people were thinking that they were getting something for free. Very important. You recognize that ad, right? Does that have identity? Absolutely. You will never see a Michelin ad without that little child or a little child in the ad. They create an identity. They're not selling tires, they're selling safety. And that's what you have to always keep in mind, okay? You'll never have an ad without the child, right? That's part of their identity. This is our last ad. It says wife one, okay? Now, you say, wow, wait, what's that advertiser advertising? This ad breaks all the rules, folks. That's why I show it last, right? Because this ad is an ad that you would say, well, they're selling wives or something, right? What are they selling? Anybody ever see this ad? Sewing machines. You knew that, didn't you? Right? Do you use this ad? Okay. This ad is the most successful ad that Totem Sewing Machine has ever run. I was showing this ad at a retailer seminar like this in Houston, Texas. And I have up here, won't read it right now, but I have a letter from a company that uses this ad, and he says, I get 7, he said, this ad works better than any other ad that I have ever used. So it breaks all the rules, but it's an effective ad. People read it. And so therefore, keep that in mind. That sometimes you can do something a little bit out of the ordinary and be very, very successful.